Hey Gemini, welcome to your weekly forecast for June 28th through July 4th. We're going to connect here and see what's going on for Gemini Sun, Moon, and Rising in the week ahead. If you stumble upon this video outside of the time I mentioned, don't you worry, you found it when you were meant to find it. So this is a general reading. Not every single message will resonate. Take the ones that do and leave the rest. We're going to go ahead and see what's going on for you guys in the week ahead for the Gemini collective. Let's get right on into it, my dears. So the first card that's coming up for Gemini is the King of Wands. Now, traditionally speaking, in tarot, the court cards are going to have to do with representing a person that's coming into the situation, affecting the situation. And I know a lot of people are used to watching tarot readings for love and romance, so they take it as like a love partner who's a fire sign. But in my channel, in the weekly forecasts, I want to focus on you. I want it to be about you and your journey and the energies that you're coming into and the experiences that you're having on a personal level. So I do love and romance separate on my channel. Sometimes love comes into the weekly forecast, and when it does, I respect that. But I do love reading separate, and the love videos are linked in the description of this video. But Gemini, this is about you and your energy, because that's the intention that we're setting on this channel here for the weekly forecasts. There could be a fire sign influencing the situation, or if you have a fire sign placement, that area of your life might be affected right now, or might be the area of your life that you're focusing on. However, the King of Wands is a very ambitious card. Okay, or is a very ambitious characteristic or personality. Okay, self-made man energy here. Very entrepreneur. Okay, King of Wands is one of my entrepreneur cards. Or someone who's really good at creating opportunities when they're tired of not finding any opportunities. They create opportunities. So Gemini, a lot of you might be coming up with some really big ideas right now, and you're really excited and happy at first, like, oh my gosh, that's so great, oh my gosh, like, what a wonderful idea. Some of you, I feel like you wake up with the idea and you're like, that's it, that's what I'm gonna do. And then by the time you're brushing your teeth, or by the time you finish getting dressed, you're like, oh, that's stupid, that's never gonna work, never mind. And you feel discouraged and you feel upset because the negative ego came in, and the negative ego said, oh, Gemini, what are you thinking? There's no way. That's so stupid. That's so dumb. You have to understand something about the negative ego. The negative ego hates change, even if the change is a good thing. It's terrified of change. So anytime you are close to having a massive change in your life, having a massive breakthrough, or something changing, a big change happening, negative ego is going to come in with a lot of negative self-talk and say whatever it has to say to get you to stop moving forward. So if you're finding yourself kind of, bombarded with that negative self-talk, or the thoughts of, oh, it's hopeless, give up, it's never going to happen, remind yourself, whoa, negative ego's coming in really hard right now. I must be super close to a massive breakthrough. Remind yourself of that. Okay, when I was first reading tarot, when I was reading about the cards, I wish I had saved it. Till this day, I really regret not saving it or bookmarking it. But someone had written a backstory about the King of Wands to explain the kind of person this is. And so the backstory for the King of Wands that I read is that he was not born a king. Okay, he was born in an impoverished land or impoverished community. There weren't choices, there weren't options, but he saw the needs that needed to be met, and he found ways to meet those needs. And in that way, he created a sense of enterprise. He created business. He created solutions to problems. And people were so impressed by this. They were like, oh my gosh, we want you to be our king. Please, please, please lead us. So there's also a mentoring factor to the King of Wands. Very entrepreneur, very good with coming up with creative business solutions, very compassionate, right? Very grateful for what he has. He doesn't take anything for granted because everything he has, he worked so hard for. So Gemini, a lot of you are coming into this energy. I also feel some of you had a lot of high hopes in a person to do some kind of collaboration. It doesn't feel like a official business partnership to me, but like a collaboration, or they were acting like they were going to pull some strings and get you in someplace, and I'm feeling like you feel let down, like they didn't follow through. They didn't follow through. Okay, well, I'm going to have to move forward on my own. I'm just going to have to forget about this person, and I'm going to have to find the solution myself, or I'm going to have to do this project myself, right? King of Wands is saying you've got this. Like, you're going to do more than well, right? And it's going to allow you to elevate your position to the extent where you're able to teach others or show others. I feel some of you might be feeling very guided also to do some kind of mentoring in your community for younger people. And I feel some of you Geminis are getting really, really, really like well versed, or you're doing a lot of studying in like money and how money works and how to be wise with money. And some of you have like this dream of becoming successful enough, of like being an angel investor someday. And so I feel like everything is saying you're aligning with that. But for many of you, your way of paying things forward now is, you're receiving these successes, and the way that you're paying it forward for now is, I do feel some of you are doing some kind of mentorship. The roles could be reversed. Maybe some of you are under the mentorship of someone else who's coming in and showing you the way, showing you the ropes. But there's a very independent energy here for King of Wands. Almost like the kind of energy, the kind of person that doesn't do well in a 9-to-5 situation, or has a very strong drive and need to do something more creative or less conventional. And a lot of you are embracing that and seeing it as an opportunity instead of as like a character flaw or something working against you. You're figuring out how to make it work for you. Your next card coming up here is the Nine of Swords. Sometimes I get ahead of the cards. Please forgive me, because I do read intuitively, but I also I hear things while I'm reading, or I'm shown things, and I just start blah, 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 blah. I just start going, and I end up getting ahead of the cards. So Nine of Swords is what I was talking about with the negative ego, right? All of the fears, all of the what ifs. Oh, it's not going to work. I'm actually glad this came up, because there was something I was supposed to say that Spirit was saying when I was talking about the King of Wands, but I forgot. I dropped the thought, and now I'm being reminded of it, so I'm glad this is here. So Nine of Swords is like insomnia, sleepless nights. We're stressing out. We're worrying about all the things that might go wrong, all the things that could possibly happen. And when I talked about negative ego, right? Negative ego is going to come in and be like, oh my gosh, that's so stupid. What are you thinking? It's never going to work out. So this fear, these like what ifs, for a lot of you, you're coming into the Nine of Swords energy because of the negative ego. You're so close to the change that negative ego is trying so hard to stop you before the change can happen, because it's scared of the change. Now, this is a beautiful opportunity. Beautiful, and I'll tell you why. This is actually something that can work for your blessing or your benefit. Because on one hand, you're like, my gosh, why do I have to deal with this? I wish the negative ego would shut up and not give me a hard time. Negative ego is giving you a gift. Okay? I've said this about the Nine of Swords in previous readings, where this is a card about thinking ahead of like what some of the things you're afraid of, like they could possibly happen. So what is in your power? What can you do to ensure a good outcome, to prevent these certain things that you're afraid of, or to set some kind of safety net in case those things actually end up happening, right? And then the rest that we don't have control over, we pray about it, we give it to God, we surrender to God. Thank you for taking care of this for me. I ask that if it's in the best and highest good for all involved, that you prevent these things from happening. But if for some reason they need to happen or they should happen, then I ask that you guide me through it quickly. Guide me through it quickly. Show me the way through it quickly, please. Now, the gift that the negative ego is giving you, even though it's scaring you and telling you it's not going to work because of this and this and that, now you have an opportunity of, okay, well, how can I take my plan and make it ironclad? How can I take my plan and make it almost foolproof, like fail-proof almost? Negative ego is actually giving you a gift. It's helping you to prepare ahead, right? Just because we might have a challenge in a situation, it doesn't mean that it's not going to work. It's okay, well, is there a way to address that challenge? Is there a way around that challenge? And then when you go into it prepared, boom, things happen quickly. Okay? Now, your next card coming up here, Gemini, is the Temperance card. Temperance card also came up for, I want to say, no, it wasn't Taurus. It was Virgo. Some of you could be dealing with a Virgo because this card came up for them as well. Or again, you might have a Virgo placement. That's really kind of, that area of your life might be very active right now. Maybe change is happening right now. Temperance card is a major arcana card though. Oh, also, astrologically speaking, traditionally speaking, Temperance card is representative of the Sagittarius sign. So it would be more if you have a Sagittarius placement. There could be something with a Virgo because they also got this card, but this card is associated with Sagittarius. So if you have a Sagittarius placement, there could be a lot of changes in that area of your life, or you may be dealing with a Sagittarius. However, Temperance card is a major arcana card. When the major arcana cards come up, we're coming into a time of great change. We're coming into a new chapter. It's a pivotal, defining moment. We're at a significant crossroads in our life. Anytime we're at these kinds of crossroads, our angels are with us. They're helping us through those transitions. So remind yourself of that. You're not alone through these transitions. You're having a transition or experiencing a transition, experiencing a crossroads you came here to experience. Okay? So you can't fail. As long as you keep going and as long as you keep trying, you can't fail. The only way you're going to fail is if you let negative ego bully you into giving up. Don't let negative ego bully you, right? The closer you are to that change, the louder that negativity is. Now, going even deeper, the Temperance card has to do with life path, like a calling, okay? Like you're being called in this direction and that things are happening within divine timing. Like this is happening because it's time for it to happen. You're ready for it to happen. This transition is happening because it's time for this transition to happen. And you're stepping into some kind of calling. So there could be something where some of you were wanting to make a career change, or you were wanting to try to kind of push something forward in terms of self-employment, but you were trying to delay it. Or you were like, oh, I'll do it later. And you might find that something is happening this week where it's like, nope, now is the time. Not a tower moment per se, but I do feel a strong sense of like you were putting your faith or hope in something and you're figuring out or you're finding out that's not going to happen. So maybe you thought there was going to be an increase in hours, or you thought there was going to be a promotion, or somebody was acting like they were going to get you in at their job, or they were going to do something with you. I feel like for whatever reason, this is coming in intuitively. You're like, you know what, I can't put my hope or my faith or my trust in this person or situation, so I'm going to have to move forward and get things going on my own. And some of you are a little frustrated because you didn't want to do that just yet. But Temperance is telling you, don't be afraid, don't worry. This is happening within the constructs of divine timing. And this is a part of your path and your experience. Okay? The next card that's coming up for you guys here, Gemini, is the Three of Pentacles. And Three of Pentacles is the building of a new foundation. Okay? It also has with it a sense of mentoring, being trained, being taught, like someone taking you under their wing. So this is confirmation for us here, Gemini. Some of you have someone who's taking you under their wing. Some of you are rising up to the situation where you're able to take somebody else under your wing. Some of you may be doing something within like teaching, like teaching a skill that you have. or doing some kind of like workshops in teaching other people or mentoring other people in the areas in which you're skilled. And some of you have someone coming in and guiding you. Three of Pentacles also can indicate laying down a new foundation, as I said. So progress is steady when the Three of Pentacles happens. It's not overnight. And the message that's coming in for you here, Gemini, some of you are going to feel really confused because you're like, on one hand, I feel like I'm being pushed in this direction. On one hand, I feel like, Spirit or the universe is saying, okay, this is where I'm putting you right now. But then on the other hand, things aren't happening super fast, and that makes me feel like I'm on the wrong path. Okay? And Spirit is saying not everything is going to happen in lightning speed. It doesn't mean you're going to be in limbo in the meantime. It means you're building something here from the ground up, and that takes time. Right now is the time of building the proper foundation. Once the foundation is nice and good and set and solid, you're going to have something indestructible. Okay? And so Spirit is saying trust in that timing. Just because things aren't happening super fast, it doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. You might want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks those are going to resonate with you more than others. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. Don't forget, if you're looking for love and romance readings, those are separate on my channel, and those are linked in the description if you want to check that out. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Bye, my dears. Be well.